Hey, hey, welcome back to another episode of the She's Making an Impact podcast. I'm your host, Rachel and Go. Let's talk today about mistakes we made on the path to becoming millionaires. So, I was actually just at a mastermind. I got this from the mastermind of people that are doing over $1 million a year in their business. And the core theme that comes up over and over again is this is not like an overnight journey. Like you don't start your business and become a millionaire next week. So just like get that in your mind of like it won't happen overnight. However, when you have the right tools, the systems, right strategy, 100% can grow to becoming a millionaire. Good morning, Renee. Happy to see you. So I would love to know, what's your vision? What's your goal? Do you have a vision to become a millionaire? And when? When would you like that to happen? I made it really clear. Like before I'm 35, we are going to become millionaires. And it happened when I was 34. So backstory of kind of like where we were. So TJ, he is 9 now. When he was a baby, like when he was 1, that's when we were on food stamps, and that's when we had, like negative $400 in our checking account. So between then and the time when like I was 34 is when we officially became millionaires. So that is not an overnight journey. Like it takes time to actually like make that happen. But what I have seen, like my own personal experience, is like we're going to double our net worth in 2 years. So like it took us from like 8 years or whatever to do the first million, but then it's going to take us 2 years to do the second million. Then it's like it becomes a snowball effect as long as you continue to live below your means. Like we haven't increased our lifestyle or anything like that since we became millionaires. It's more like, what has God put us on this earth to do? How can we just reinvest and create more job opportunities and like pour more into our businesses in Senegal and give and be more generous? So just so you know, like the first 100,000, like that part is like, it's like you're climbing uphill, right? But as soon as you hit that, keep growing, keep focusing on like, how can I multiply this, right? And then once you hit the million mark, that's when you're like, hold, like let's multiply it. That's like our focus this year is how can we multiply our money, right? So I wanted to share with you, just like I want to give you a backstory of that so you could see like this didn't happen overnight. So just so like you can have that in your head, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you have the right things in place, 100% it can happen. And it can happen quicker than you realize. Okay. First thing, um, just create like I want you to really be crystal clear on the vision of what you want to create and what it will look like when you'll actually become a millionaire. So like what will it like have that crystal clear and set the timeline of like Renee's like before I'm 65, when get really clear. Like when am I gonna make this happen? So you want to get really clear. I didn't. I think it took us longer than it should have because in my eyes, going from like when we were on food stamps, I couldn't see that. Like I literally couldn't see the possibility of us being where we are right now. Like I just got back from being at a mastermind in a room where the minimum income requirement's $1 million a year. The average was 15 million. I'm talking to people that like this guy almost sold his company for $1 billion. Like that to me is just insanity, but I couldn't see it when we were there. But what I could see was a few steps ahead. So like I could see making $500 a week. I could see making $1,000 a week. Then I could see 2,000. So it was like once I hit these little milestones, so I set the bar of like, I can see this, right? And then I kept raising it. I kept raising it. But then I surrounded myself with people that had bigger visions, bigger ambitions. I saw what they were doing. And then it starts to grow even quicker because I'm like, oh my gosh, now I get to hang out with these people that like these are masters at multiplying their money. I get to learn from them and get their strategy, right? So I wish one of the mistakes that I made was really not getting the right mentorship or being surrounded by the right people when I started. By the way, like we're going to be launching a mastermind called the Impact Partnership this year, and like my focus is really like become like how can you step into becoming the leader that God has put you on this earth to be? How can you create a business that's not taking over your life? Like how oh man, I'm like super pumped for that. So if you want to be working with me really intimately, just shoot me a message on Instagram at She's Making an Impact and we can talk about it. But it's going to be such a year of just growth and multiplication. And I am just like so excited for it. So other mistakes that we made. I was actually asking my husband this morning because I'm like, I'm going to be doing like a podcast this morning on mistakes that we made on the path to becoming millionaires. Like, what are some of the mistakes that you think that we've made? Because my husband and I, like, we are a team when it comes to handling our finances. So, like, you see me here with this business. He doesn't do anything in this business. He doesn't understand online marketing, none of that. But like the money that I bring in through this business, we work together to figure out how can we take this? What's the best use of it? What are we going to do with it? So, like, when I asked him, what are some of the mistakes that we made? He said, waiting too long to get a team in place. So like having the right CPA that's going to help us not overpay on taxes, which is another big mistake that we made. So like make sure what we didn't have is a CPA that really understood online business and the big deductions that we could get based off of the different projects. Like we could be depreciating all the cars that we have in Senegal and our equestrian property and all these things that we didn't understand. So a big mistake that we made was not having the right team in place. Okay. Another big mistake, overpaying on taxes. um, so a book that I read that was really great in that realm, it's called Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. Tax-Free Wealth by Tom Wheelwright. So this past year, we paid more in taxes than we have ever paid before. And when I told my husband like how much we paid the previous month, I swear he almost had a heart attack. And that's when we're like, we have to figure this out. We have to get the right team in place. So we hired Tom's company, Wealthability. I'll let you know how I enjoy working with them. But that's like the action step that we took to be able to one, not overpay on taxes, but then take that money. How can we multiply it? Other mistakes that we made, saving money instead of investing it. And so I really think like I had developed maybe, so this comes down to like money mindset. I developed maybe like a fear of, because remember where we were, food stamps, negative $400 in our checking account. Like that causes so much stress and anxiety and fear of, oh my gosh, what if we lose it all again? Right? Like, what if we go back to that? Oh, like just thinking about it, I'm not in that mindset anymore. I've really like been praying through like Psalm 91 like over and over and over again, and God has really saved like helped me get out of that fear mentality. But that was a big one of like I want to save all this money. I want to have this much money in our bank account. Like, and I was more so like just afraid of the risk to take in investing and afraid of losing it. Right. So that was a big mistake that we made, is like saving the money instead of investing it, playing it too safe. Like we're, relatively young, right? So like we're 35. Is my husband 36 now? Yeah. I think he's 36. It's funny how like when you get older, you just forget. You're like, what? I'm 35, he's 36. So we're relatively young and we can take bigger risks in our investment strategy, right? Because it's not like we're going to retire tomorrow. So that's one of the big things, is like playing it too safe. Another mistake is trying to earn your way there. It is really hard to earn your way to becoming a millionaire. Like you have to take risks and you have to invest in order to multiply your money. So that was another big mistake that we made. Another one that I am now like starting to see of like I followed Dave Ramsey's principles to a T to get us out of debt, to get us, with our emergency fund, to get us to start investing in all these things. But as I am really surrounding myself with people that are playing super big on such a big level, what I'm realizing is Dave Ramsey's all of his principles are great for the average middle class American, but for the person who wants to build massive wealth, it isn't the right strategy. In the beginning, like the first couple ones are, the first couple of baby steps are like get out of debt, like build your emergency fund, that kind of thing. But when it comes to like really multiplying money, he plays it a little too safe. And that's like really what my husband's kind of like been working me on, because I'm like, no, we have to follow Dave. But I'm realizing, no. Like we get to actually build insane wealth with what we have. And I'm just like, honestly, my mind is blown at how far we've come, how quickly. But when I think about like what we're going to be able to create over the next 10 years, 20 years, it's going to be insane. And I'm just like, whoa, like God is so good. As we continue to like give more and invest more. So that is another mistake. Another mistake that we made was just waiting too long to get mentorship, waiting too long to be in a room of other people, like-minded people. So masterminds have been like such a huge game changer for me, like getting the right coaching, being in the room with the right people. So like the mastermind that I was at the this past weekend, complete game changer for me. And I'm like telling my husband, I'm like, I have to get you in that room. Like there's one connection that you could make, one connection with one person that could bring in $1 million, right? I'm like, that one thing. So it's like when you do a coaching program, when you do a mastermind, you don't need all of the things. I'm on the hunt for like, what's the one gem, like the one takeaway that I can get from this that I could just take it and run with it, like the one connection that I need. So like what does it really take? Mentorship, honestly. Like you need to have the right mentor that's going to guide you in this journey. Taking risks and proximity. Proximity is power. It really, really is. If you try to do it on your own or with the people that maybe they're not as ambitious as you are, maybe they have just like a regular job, they're not going to understand everything that you're doing. They're going to think you're nuts. So you really like the proximity to people who want to grow and have the same ambitions that you do is so powerful. So just to recap, we made a lot of mistakes on the path to becoming millionaires, and you're going to make mistakes. But if you can get the right mentorship, like Tony Robbins says, you can compress decades into days when you have the right strategy. So it doesn't have to take you as long as it took us, as long as, you get the right strategy. So I hope this was helpful. Take action. Just like one of the biggest things you can do is just take massive action. Figure out like, who's the mentor that I need? What's a strategy that I need to follow? If you need help, just go to helpmecoachnow.com, book a call with our team. Let us support you. Let us help you create a game plan. But take massive action and just know that it's possible. Like there is nothing special about me. Trust me, we're like food stamps, negative $400 in our checking account. I was 80 pounds heavier than I am now. Nothing special. If I could do this, anybody can do this. I swear. It's just a matter of getting the right person to show you how to do it, but also being so I want to say like persistent, but also stubborn, and knowing that you're going to figure it out. Like know that you're going to keep taking action. You're going to fall down a few times. You're going to dust yourself off. You're going to get back up. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going. You're going to keep going until you make it happen, because anything is possible and the best is yet to come. I hope you have an incredible day. We are going to be hosting a challenge coming up in about 2 weeks that is going to blow your mind. So it's going to be how to 5x your profit and joy. I'll be posting the link soon, so you can go ahead and register. But just know that it's coming up the week of the 23rd. So you're going to want to set some time to really join me. I'll be pouring into you over those 5 days, and we can take massive action together. Okay. Have a great day, and we will talk soon. Bye.